basically focus on, we felt like grasshoppers. There's no way we can get into the promised land. And their insecurity had a domino effect. Y'all want to talk? What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Kingdom Prototype, the blueprint for abundant living. I'm your girl Lex.
I'm your girl Jazz.
And welcome back, beautiful people. All right, y'all. It's time for us to get confident. Okay, I'm just jumping right into it. Like I don't got no long, drawn out intro. Like, can we be more confident? I am curious. I'm jumping all the way in. I am curious as to if one of the biggest barriers for many of us believers that stops us from experiencing abundance, overflow, entering into our promised land is insecurity, is a lack of confidence. I got questions and I got Bible to back it up.
I got receipts.
I got them receipts. Go ahead.
I was just going to add that I think that is a fair question, because a lot of times we focus on only what we're able to do, and I feel like we talked about this in another episode as well. Focus on our resources and completely ignore or maybe just forget the fact that we're actually connected. Right? Conveniently forget that we're connected to the source. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that's a fair question.
Yeah, absolutely. Ask the Israelites. Ask them 12 spies. They went out. They spied on the land, Canaan, overflowing milk. Oh, I see. Look at them grapes. Oh, them things is fire, bro. Like, milk, honey. Oh, you see? Shoot. Oh, shoot.
Wait a minute. Look at them. Look at them. Look at the giants.
The giants. Oh my God. And so then we gotta be solid. We keep it in. And so then they run back.
Right. All out of breath.
The people like, yo, excited.
Right. What happened?
What y'all see? What does God have for us?
Right.
Check this out. All right. No, because I'm about to take this somewhere. Check this out, bro. I'm so excited. I've been hearing God talk about all of these things. All the milk and honey that what's it gonna be like, bro? And they come back and the first thing they say, I don't know if it's the first thing, but they basically focus on, we felt like grasshoppers. There's no way we can get into the promised land. And their insecurity had a domino effect. Y'all want to talk?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it just amazes me how in the Bible it says that basically after they said that, the whole Israel went into we're just gonna say mourning, and just basically start crying and complaining like, oh God, you could have left us in Egypt for all this. Like, why you want to bring us out here just to kill us? And it's just amazing, like how just a couple, just a group of people, how that can have such a huge influence on a group of like a couple million. And it's just yeah, it's just gonna show you like how unbelief and can spread and how quickly it can spread and how contagious it is. It can be.
Yeah. I'm about to ask a very hard question. So the question becomes, who is your insecurity impacting? Is it impacting your kids? Are you passing down insecurity, lack of confidence to your kids? Is it impacting your coworkers? Now they ain't confident. Now they insecure. Now they second guessing.
Right.
What is your insecurity? That is a hard question.
But once you are able to answer it and realize that, hey, I am the problem. Like I have been, I have been insecure. I have lacked confidence in this area, and I have been passing that down. I have been rubbing that off on other people. I feel like that creates a huge transformation in your life when you're able to acknowledge that, because honestly some people don't know. They don't realize that they lack confidence, they're insecure in certain areas because they feel secure. You know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Like they don't feel ugly, they don't feel fat, they don't feel lazy, or whatever the case may be. They don't feel all those things, but at the end of the day there's that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Because I can feel secure in these areas, but then in other areas, when it comes time to put the rubber where the rubber meets the road, is that what it called? Okay. Like, look at me using the old long terminology.
You're right. It's a laugh.
Like, I might have to edit that one out. They be like, you calling me old? Yeah, probably. I mean seasoned.
Oh, right. Seasoned saints.
The seasoned saints. When it comes time to when the rubber meets the road, sometimes that is where the mirror comes. If that makes sense. That is where it's just like, oh, okay. Here are these areas. Here are these problems. Here are my blind spots. That's what I'm looking for. My blind spots that I didn't know were there.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the Israelites, we about to go.
Right.
And then they see it. And they see the work that's going to, like, they had to fight.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, them giants weren't just going to be like, come take my big old grape. Here you go, boo-boo.
Right.
Like, they had to go take it. The rubber met the road. And then, here's my blind spots. All of my blind spots. And they ain't blind.
Right.
No more. And so the question becomes, how do you handle that? Because we all got blind spots. Mm-hmm. How do you handle, I got questions. When God reveals a blind spot and it's no longer a blind spot.
Right.
Do you run?
Do you sweep it under the rug?
That part.
That's a really good question. Yeah. That's something to ponder on. That's really something to ponder on. That's a good question, though.
That's where it tends to get sticky.
Right.
That's where it gets uncomfortable. Can we talk about it? Actually, no. Yeah, thank you. That's good. That's where it gets uncomfortable. Because now here is this mirror. And I have a choice to make. Am I going to choose to sit and look at this mirror and allow God to point out, what is that?
Right.
Where did that start? What's the root of this? Why don't you believe in you? I got questions. Are you gonna choose to sit in that space with God? Or are you gonna choose to do what we talked about? Run, sweep it under the rug, and act like it's not there? Question mark. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
That's real, because I just feel like, honestly, the more we prolong it and the more we put it off and sweep it under the rug and act like it's not there, it only creates insecurities inside of us, which ultimately comes out when we go to approach God.
Ooh, tell me more.
Yeah. Yeah. You left me hanging, Jesus. we was on the road.
I'm crying. You know.
I am weak.
That's so good. but no, that's real though, because then it becomes a domino effect, right? So I sweep it under the rug, or I don't approach it, or I don't acknowledge it, and I continue to try to build whatever it is I'm trying to build.
Right.
But then the stuff that I still keep hitting this wall of the thing that I'm trying to build, which then makes me question myself. Why do I keep hitting this wall? Do I have what it takes to get past this? Why do I keep getting stuck here? What is wrong with me? I should have did this, or I could have did that. Right. It repeats. It's just a never-ending cycle. It's just a never-ending cycle. And so all we are saying, I guess that's a good segue. All we are saying is we have to allow God to meet us where we are and hold up that mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, if we try to ignore it, try to sweep it under the rug, all that does is, like, now every time we go to approach God, now we're feeling like, let me get myself together, let me fix myself up before approaching God, and we feel unworthy or don't want to feel weak, so we try to just get ourselves in a place where we can confidently approach God. And like you said, it's just a never-ending cycle. And honestly, it's counterproductive, because God told us that we'll never be able to do that in our own strength anyway. Like, we can't do anything in our own strength, really. But we'll never get to a place of where we feel worthy enough on our own to approach God. But when we're able to actually address different things that God is trying to reveal to us and expose to us, it helps us feel more comfortable giving up our strength, giving up our power, and exchanging our power for God's.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that the point of Jesus? Like, I really got questions. Like, I know we didn't talk about none of this, and I'm about to take it in just a slight direction. This idea of not feeling worthy enough to approach God. Like, wasn't that the point of Jesus? Because it's true. We aren't. That's why Jesus came.
Right.
And the veil was torn from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
So like, I don't feel worthy enough. Well, that is why Jesus was here.
Yeah. And what's interesting is my mind just went back to the episodes that we did a few weeks ago about pride, because again, that's what's at the root of it, because that is basically saying that we don't feel like Jesus, what he did was enough. So we're trying to work our way up on our own strength to feel worthy, to feel accepted by God, to feel loved by God, or whatever the case may be. And I just feel like it goes back to pride, to where a lot of believers, they are aware of what Jesus did, but they don't allow it to really sink down in their hearts and their minds and their souls, and just really accept the fact that his sacrifice was more than enough. So a part of them, like, okay, I know what Jesus did for me. Jesus died on the cross. Jesus loves me, hallelujah. But then the other part of them, like, but I still got to work I still got to get myself together. So I just feel like it's a battle for a lot of people. Still, I guess we could just call it pride. Still fighting pride on one side of the equation, and then on the other side of the equation, it's like, okay, but I know Jesus did this for me, but it just being kind of in the middle of the road with it. Yeah,
absolutely. And pride on that sense, and then there's also another side of the pride of like having a hard time admitting the fact that I needed Jesus to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
That like, I really ain't worthy. You get what I'm saying? I'm too prideful to admit the fact that I was jacked up. Let me get my grandma together.
Yeah, but that's actually really good, because I just thought about, it could be people, a lot of believers feel like that wasn't necessary.
Oh, that's good.
That wasn't necessary. Like, yeah, that was, the whole, like, they understand it. They understand the concept, but excuse me, I wonder, do they really believe that it was necessary? That's now we in different territory, because now my little wheel's spinning.
Yeah, because we in different territory. Because it begs another. I don't know. We should go here, Jesus. Oh my God, I do not know if we should go here, because it begs the question. And if we question if it was necessary, it begs the question of have we truly experienced the true presence of God?
That's a great question. Because
there is no way you can experience the true, authentic presence of God and not start covering up and trying to hide your face, and
like what was it, Isaiah?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's real.
I got a question. That's
a good question.
Deep.
Yeah, this one a little deeper than I did not attend it, but I like that.
Yeah,
that's a really good question, and I think it's worthy, because like you said, there's literally no way. Like, you wouldn't just how do I want to say it? I ain't even gonna try to say it in a nice way. You wouldn't even just spit on Jesus.
Say it with your chest, girl.
You wouldn't even just like spit on his sacrifice like that. Just
that's real.
Just completely poo.
Just poo on it.
Just completely poo on his sacrifice. If you really experience God in a true and genuine way, if anything, you will feel. If you feel unworthy, you will feel unworthy for that. For him to have died for you, for little old me, for little old us. If you really and truly have experienced God in that way, so that's a good question. That's deep.
That is deep. That is deep, because we all care. Woo! Lord have mercy. Because we live in this society. It just reminds me of Gangsta Prophet. I literally see her right now. And she was talking about how like we live where we just kind of run into God's presence. Mm-hmm. And we just like to run into God's presence. And the question becomes, if every single time you in God's presence, you don't never feel uncomfortable, are you really in God's presence?
Whose presence are you
I was
in?
just about to say, whose presence?
No, that's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
Are you in? I never feel convicted. I never feel challenged. I never be like.
Never feel unworthy.
Because never, yeah. Baby. Yeah. Whose presence you in? I got questions. Because it ain't God. If you never feel convicted, if you've never found yourself, sometimes I just sit in a ball. Like if you never just sit and you find yourself just caving in, if that never happens, whose presence are you in? I got a question. Who's there? If you feel comfortable.
Right.
Whose presence are you in? Examine that. That took a turn.
That did. But it's good though, because again, it just reminds me of the Isaiah chapter.
Woe is me.
Exactly. Where
man, I'm unclean lips. I'm sorry.
I'm weak. My girl Jackie Hill Perry, she was preaching on this, and she was just saying, notice how he didn't partake in the holy. Like he didn't partake in the worship. He went straight to woe is me.
My boy was scared.
I am weak. That's real though. And then she was just like, he said that, you know, he's a man of unclean lips among basically unclean people. And she was just saying, think of how much more unclean our Twitter timeline is, our, you know, people Facebook timeline, and shoot, your text message, your inbox. So if he was feeling that convicted just off some words,
that's good. Go ahead.
Just imagine, like, when you in the true presence of God, how convicted, how unworthy you feel,
how small.
Yeah, how small you feel compared to him. So that's definitely something to ponder. But yeah, that got deep. And we gonna end that. I don't think we need to say anything else. Do you think you got anything else to say? No, I'm saying I got nothing else to add. This wasn't even. But he did his thing.
Yeah, this was God. This was God. Because this ain't nowhere near. We supposed to be talking about insecurity. I'm supposed to be calling y'all out. Yeah. So ponder. Please ponder. Whose presence are you in? Are you manufacturing?
Right.
The presence of God.
Right. That's all I got.
That's it. That's all. Bye.
Deuces.